Nacht Der Untoten was the first ever released zombies map back in November 11, 2008 in the game Call of Duty World at War. What was special about this is that it was the first time the developers experimented with a tower defense and mechanized game mode, being unlocked after completing the campaign, taking you straight to the cutscene of a crashed plane with zombies slowly running towards you, becoming abundant with every blink of an eye. This alone started one of the most revolutionary game modes that we know today as Call of Duty Zombies. The mode is very straightforward. You're placed in one bunker with a couple of weapons on the wall, barricaded windows, a point system which gains you points every time you do a damage to a zombie, and a separate two rooms, one known as the help room, which is located to the far end of the spawn room with a door that has help chalked on it, and the couch door which leads you upstairs to more windows and a bunch of space. It's still very claustrophobic though. On the other side of the help door, you have the very first known feature known as the mixery box, or the box for short. This box contains a variety of weapons which can help you hold your own until you get overwhelmed by zombies. This map also introduced the first ever wonder weapon known as the ray gun, but as you may know in the World at War engine where you are a 2-hit down and have very buggy hitboxes, this weapon isn't really that viable since it does splash damage and you really have no space to work with. So then, how do players achieve high rounds on World at War? How do players achieve high rounds on this map in general? Well, although the weapons in space are very limited, players use guns such as the flamethrower, which does unlimited damage and has unlimited ammo, along with point weapons such as the 𝕊𝕠𝕝𝕝𝕠𝕨, which I'm going to be calling the Tommy gun for short because it's easy and it makes my life so much easier. As you can clearly see, high rounds has been a thing since the early days of zombies, and players have pushed their limits on what they can and can't do in this game, and the maps coming after it. In today's video, I will be going over a detailed dive into the high round of this map along with starting a new series which I will be detailing how you, as a player, can achieve this high round. So, let's start with the basics. As of the recording of this video, Nacht has a world record of round 8,817 currently owned by 𝐒𝐻. There are two main strategies for these high rounds, but I will only be showing the high round strategy as it is the most fastest, most consistent, and the most optimally approached. There is going to be a video in the description which includes both strategies, including the video that inspired this video, also made by 𝐒𝐻. So shout out to 𝐒𝐻, shout out to him, and you guys go ahead and check that out if you want a more easier and more detailed strategy. On the easier version, I'm just going to be detailing the high round strategy and the version that was used in the video. Now, if you are a regular zombies player and you know what a reset is, you can skip to the timestamp that's going to be in front of you right now. But for those who don't know what a reset is, before you begin your game, you have to understand what a reset is. A quick run over is that reset happens when you hit a certain amount of time spent playing this map. This varies from map to map as it all comes down to the objects and sounds that are on the map. In other maps, you can extend your reset by removing stuff of the map, also known as entities, such as sounds, doors, perks, Easter eggs, etc. and other different small link stuff around the map in general. Like in 𝐒𝐻𝐞, if I'm not wrong, you can go up to the little booth that's in like the start and you can just knife those little papers. I'm pretty sure that removes like a couple of entities. There's stuff like that just laying around the map in all the zombies games, so don't be surprised if it's going to be brought up a lot. In Nacht's case, what you can do is remove the barrels around the map, giving you about 30 entities off, with your average time to reset on Nacht being around 145 hours. This extends it up to a reset time of 167 hours max. There are also some hidden barrels in the back of the top portion of the map which can be removed to push to this 167 hours if I'm not wrong, but they are pretty precise. And in the screen you're going to see the lineup for these, but I won't be going over them too much, so you can check out the video if you would like in the description. It's pretty straightforward and the lineups are pretty simple and learn. Enough about reset, let's just get straight into the high round strategy. So in the starting room for Nacht, you're going to want to buy the KR98 to maximize your points and rounds, as Nacht has some very slow spawns, and the first rounds you're better off sniping until you can buy the 𝐒𝐻𝐿 off the wall. I don't know how the fuck to say that, but we're just gonna go ahead and say 𝐒𝐻𝐿. Now once you have this weapon off the wall, just continue farming points until I think around round 4 maybe. You can push this past round 5, but you might as well just do what I'm about to tell you if you care about speed. So around round 4 you go straight to the help door, since Nacht has a very straightforward strat. You're better off buying the 𝕊𝕠𝕝𝕝𝕠𝕨 off the wall and heading straight for the mystery box until you get the ray gun. While spinning the box, you can simply train these zombies up while hitting the box, since the spawns here are pretty fast like I said. So if you care about speed, just get straight to it after round 4, buy the 𝕊𝕠𝕝𝕝𝕠𝕨 off the wall, get the ray gun, and boom, you're set. That's it. You shouldn't have much trouble doing this in the early rounds. So if you do, just get some practice in, continue doing more training, and just try to be more careful when you're going for the mystery box, as the zombies can get cluttered up on that area, considering World at War has a very buggy engine. Once you're set up, you will start to train in the early rounds until the ray gun starts to drop off or you're having trouble with ammo. You'll be training around the box area, going around the 2 pillars in the area, making the spawns pretty consistent, and with good RNG, you can do this up to round 30 if I'm not wrong. You can maybe push it until mid 30s. That's if you really have some really good ammo and really good drops. Once ammo becomes a problem in the late 40s, you're going to want to kill full hordes with the ray gun, doing the same training strategy and getting the flamethrower around late 50s if possible. A faster way to play this would be to train outside the help door you open and go in circles near the 2 windows and the 2 pillars. Although this is significantly harder, it definitely requires more skill, but it's definitely worth it if you care about speed and if you care about going for that war record. Once you decide to move to the high round strategy, you will begin near this window on the wall and take the path shown in screen. You want to follow this path movement in a sort of a specific and consistent way, as you're gonna want to do this right. If you don't get it right, trust me, the zombies are going to get in your way, so just try to practice this path movement as much as you can. As the zombies spawn out of the window, hold your flamethrower out and continuously burst the flamethrower while walking backwards to the Tommy wall by, and try and get a burst in on the zombies walking on the window near it to get some extra damage in for them. Take out the Tommy for better speed and walk around the pillar next to the Thompson and do a small zigzag cut back to the middle window, then loop back around to the mystery box pillar to the mystery box as shown in screen. Then take out the flamethrower and burst fire with the grouped up zombies behind you, then cut back to the Thompson and run to the right window where you will take out the flamethrower again and burst it at the zombies and loop back to the mystery box again with the Thompson out and just repeat. Essentially, what you're doing is making an infinity sign around with the zombies while grouping them together with the pillars and getting burst in with the flamethrower, then walking back and forth from the mystery box to the Tommy gun as you burst the zombies continuously and consistently, eventually killing the entire horde up and finishing the round in around a minute or 2. Although this strategy takes some pretty good skill, throughout the time you can successfully pull this off and manage your way through it with enough practice. One thing to keep in mind is that you are going to want to continuously burst your flamethrower at the zombies to play faster and get consistent damage in. One last thing before the end of the video are insta-kill rounds and drops. To put it briefly, insta-kill rounds happen after round 163 after the game reaches the max 32-bit integer code, causing the zombie's health to go back to round 1 health. Every few rounds, check this, you're simply going to want to shoot a zombie with a Tommy gun. If it dies, it's insta-kill rounds. For these rounds, you will simply make one loop around the box and start shooting zombies with the Tommy gun. This will end rounds quickly after you allow the zombies to get spawned in, and your goal is to get instas and nukes, as if you time these right, you can literally end the whole round in like 15 seconds if picked up after the next round starts. And that's about it for the high round strategy. Any other extra stuff or resources will either be linked in the description or the comment section, so make sure to check that out. Again, shouts out to 𝐒𝐻𝐿, as he was the main inspirator for this video and the series I'm coming after. Definitely check this video out. Without further ado, thanks for watching, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.